Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Just wanted to thank Norway for a great donation yesterday. Give me a lot of coffee to drink. So thank you very much. I really do appreciate that, and that's like the greatest compliment. If you want to donate, use this PayPal button, and don't try not to use this one. You can if you want, but it looks like YouTube is charging service fees for donations. Which doesn't make any sense, but I gotta make a dime. Anywho's, again, thank you for subscribing. I got over 1,000 people now, and I think that's unbelievable, actually. So thank you very much. Let's start off with the dollar. You see that U shape come in. On a daily, looks like we're up today. Into support on the 5-hour, had a little pop at the end of the day. For the week, still below the SMA 34, so you keep an eye on that. It's very important. If this turns out to be a bearish retracement and come back down, or are we working even harder to get above the 34 from our higher low? Right now you can see price is in between the 13.8 and 34, doing its thing, back and forth, see where it goes. I'm betting on a bearish retracement, but you never know what's going to happen. So watch for previous high breaks, breaking above the 34 or breaking down. Actually, a close below the 8 would I would consider that bearish. But again, this higher low has to be taken out. So I would say below 93. So it's got plenty of support. So just keep an eye on it. I'm betting on a bearish retracement as it crossed over the 34 on the downside, came back up to meet it, and it should do its thing and come back down. But yeah, higher lows are pretty powerful. Let's look at the bonds, make sure we got some kind of riches going on out there. I wouldn't be buying this thing, but looks like we got a little reversal now. It's not confirmed yet until the end of the week, but spinning tops usually mean more downside. So keep watching on that, but right now it bounced. On a weekly, it does not look good. If it closes below the previous low, then we're bearish. So it's right there, it's on a teeter. We've got one more day. It's been a bad week so far for it, but we did get a bounce. You can see now it's just right at the brink, breaking down below previous lows. If it breaks previous lows, I'd watch out below. It does not look good. No bueno. No, S&P, it's just teetering. We got a daily spinning top. Did bounce pretty hard on what was that, Wednesday. It's above the 8, 34, and the 13 on a daily. The weekly still trying to work its way, and it looks like a hammer's forming on the weekly chart, bouncing off the EMA 8. See if we can close up here without a wick. But nice bounce off of the EMA and the lower highs that we keep referring back to, because it's pretty sure that everyone thought it was going to break down and never come back, but it did. So it came all the way down, made a bounce, made a double bottom, came all the way across the 34 and the lower highs, came back into support, bullish retraced, came back up, made another high. We are working with a double top. Came all the way back down into support, came all the way back up. So what needs to happen is previous highs need to be broken, need to close above previous highs. Otherwise, look for previous high breaks on this double top. So anything could happen. This could also be knocked back and form a hanging man. But we'll see. If it's a hanging man, the EMA has to be closed on a weekly chart. So right now, it's just hanging. Looks like a bounce right now. Bullish retraced bounce off the EMA 8. Crude took a dive. Here you can see very plainly the pattern break on the downside. Breaking previous highs into previous highs all the way down. Looks like we got support at 44, 45 all the way down to 42. So we'll see what happens. On a weekly, I thought it was looking better than that. Weekly, it has potential to go all the way back to 40 before it gets a bounce. If it continues from here, you can see the bounce at 40 correlating to previous lows, and we want to stay above the 34 on a weekly chart at all costs. Right now, on a weekly chart, we're closing above or below the EMA 8, which means it's bearish. But we got one more day. It's got to close below that EMA 8 to confirm some kind of bearishness. And then look out for previous low breaks as it did today. Closing below the EMA 13 and 8 together. So potential on the downside is to 40, the SMA 34, which is correlated with the previous lows. So keep an eye on it. It's working from a double bottom, came across the 34, and now it's bullish retracing. So even though it's bearish into 40, it's still a bullish retracement over the 34 on a weekly chart. So just keep that in mind as you buy into support and watch it bounce. Deutsche Bank down again today. Just doesn't look good at all. It's down, what was that, $1.40 for the week, from 14, I guess. Oh, this is a monthly, sorry. Hang on. I think it's down like 10 to 13% this week. Yeah, it's down from 14 to 12.60, $1.40. So it's like 10%, right? Just off the top of my head. I could be wrong, but anyways, you can see the previous low break. Remember the bounce? We thought maybe it was a hammer. It certainly was a hammer, but it never confirmed. And it broke down, gapped below the hammer, and just continued getting knocked back from the previous lows, the EMA 8 and 13. Does not look good. It's continuing down, and I'm guessing that if it continues on this direction, one of these days it's going to have a real bad day, because there is nothing holding it up. It's going to escalate. There's no pushback. It's closing on its lows so far for the week. One of these days it's just going to, $5 drop, and then everyone's going to wonder what the hell's going on. But when we get below $1, I bet you things will start happening. Just like all the banks when they start getting that low. Let's see. So bearish on Deutsche Bank. Gold. Oh, well, hang on a second. Yeah, I couldn't do Deutsche Bank without doing the 10-year German bond. So anyways, down again, but up, whatever that means. We were at -20 yesterday and we bounced, but we're still down. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I don't think the percentage is right. But anywho's, I want you to pay attention here on the actual formation of a pattern that happens all the time. And I think you probably remember me mentioning it, a B bottom. Now nothing's confirmed yet, but an A-B bottom is usually the start of the left shoulder and the head. So just remember that. I want you to pay attention to this pattern forming. Left shoulder, head, see if it'll come up, make a right shoulder, and then pop back to zero. At least fill this gap. But nothing's confirmed yet. I just want you to pay attention to the A, B bottoms. And it's usually a reverse head and shoulders, the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder starting to make a pattern. And that's pretty normal for a bottom pattern. So if you can recognize a reverse head and shoulders early, the reason why I'm showing this to you is you can really learn the reverse head and shoulders bottoms because they happen quite a bit. You can learn them, you can trade them. I mean, you can see that maybe a morning star forming if we can get this week's candle up to -14 whereabouts. You can see that evening star. We'll already have the left shoulder, the head, and then the open on the next week's candle. You can see it go all the way up, maybe even fill the gap, come down, make a U, and get that right shoulder in. But like I said, nothing's confirmed. I just want to pay attention. So back to let's do gold. Gold had a little down day, but not too much, and looks like we're up already for today. Nice bounce. Looks like last candle looked like a falling star, but no confirmation yet. It did break down, but today we closed all the way back up as we bounced off support. So there you go. A little shakeout, it seems to me. Nice bounce, and it's ready to move higher. If the weekly can close above the previous high, we're in good shape. Let's see what's going on in short term on gold. Looks like we're going to shoot for 1366 shortly. See if we can get above 1370 or previous highs. 1370. If we can get up to $10, getting up past previous high on a weekly chart, we're going to be looking pretty good for the next week. But we'll see. Let's go to silver. On the other hand, is got a lot of work to do. Broke down below 20, which is a major support line. So getting back above 20 is going to be very important. I mean, considering where it came from, 18 to 2140 or something, whatever it was, 2120, no, it's 2140. So the flat top break on 18 all the way to 2120. All right, so you can see the nasty reversal bar coming in right now. Same as gold, where gold came back and it's got a larger body closing above previous high so far. Silver needs to close above 20, which is above the previous high, but the emotional spot on the chart is much stronger at 20. So closing above 20 is very important. And it's going to be a pretty bad reversal bar. So what I'm guessing is it's going to come down for the next couple weeks, few weeks, who knows, but staying above 50% of this green candle is going to be highly important. So let's just measure it from 18 to 20. All right, so 50% of the green candle. So let's just call it 1850, which is pretty, well, anywhere around here, I guess. But 50% of the candle is going to keep us in a bullish consolidation mode. If it breaks below that, it could take us a lot longer to recover from any kind of downturn. So stay above 50% of the candle. It looks to me that we're not doing so well, and it's going to be coming down for a little while. But you never know. I mean, we got a bottom forming on the 60-minute, which, I mean, we've seen this thing shoot a couple dollars, you know. It's going to get more and more volatile as time goes on too, I think. Let's take a look at the 5-hour. Bouncing off support, so that's good. We could get a little recovery, close above 20 in the next 5-10 hours, open up tomorrow above 20, and then shoot for 21, putting our weekly candle with more body on it and less reversal, putting our candle all the way up, if we can do a good job, all the way up to around there. So anything's possible, but right now we're looking at a reversal bar. So just keep that in mind. Although on the 60-minute we are working from a higher low. Looks like we want to cross the EMA 8. If we don't, we get knocked back. Watch out for previous low breaks. Looks like 1960. It's going to be pretty hard to wake up from. So there you go. GDX, we gapped down today because everything opened down on the futures. So we opened down, closed the gap, and bounced. Not much down except for the gap. The gap down was more than the move down, I think. But lots of gaps. It'd be pretty hard to trade this thing if you weren't already in it. So again, the reversal bar is slight right now. You can call that a falling star almost. So closing above previous highs, important. Closing, we need to close a little bit above, get this body a little bit fatter and longer, maybe upwards to 30. But right now it's potential falling star on a weekly chart. One more day. See what happens. Do a monthly, do a weekly close tomorrow. Same thing on GDXJ, gap down, close the gap. Gaps are support and resistance lines, so keep your support. Watch for resistance on the way back up. If it breaks resistance, take a ride. If it goes back above resistance and stays there, it potential break previous highs, no problem. Because it's got to fill that gap on that it made today. So again, on a weekly, let's see how this weekly candle is forming for one more day of close. Yeah, it's a little bit better than the GDX, which every day it seems like GDXJ is doing a lot better than GDX, but they're in the same kind of pattern. I had some questions about silver. Let's look at PSLV. You can see the bounce, the gap down and bounce. If it doesn't recover, you can call that a evening star pattern. So watch for previous low breaks, confirming some kind of a bearish pattern. For the week, I just think that silver is going to turn around, and because here's another spinning top, and when spinning tops happen at tops, it means indecision and watch for previous low breaks. And again, we want to stay above 50% of the candle. So buy into support. This could take a couple weeks, and then the EMA 8 is going to come up and meet price at 50%, about 720 it looks like, just by eyeballing it. So if silver comes down, buy into support 50% of the candle. And don't go all in, just slice in, and then you can judge whether or not it's going to hold. But yeah, keep a momentum on the chart. You want to stay 50% above the previous green candle or red candle. USLV, same thing. This one popped about $5, so watch for 250 trace back and buy into support. That's what you do. Don't buy it now. It's at resistance. You can see the resistance and the pushback from previous lows. So stay above previous highs. Take a ride. Any kind of retracement is going to be healthy, so just be patient. Watch the 50% rule. Buy into support when the EMA 8 meets price. And that's what the big boys do. They buy into support. And that EMA 8 is infamous for support. So just keep above the EMA 8 on a weekly chart at all costs on your uptrend. I think that's it. That's it, guys. Thanks again for the donation yesterday. All the way from Norway. I can't believe that. But I'll take it. I drink a lot of coffee, so I need it. And I really do appreciate it. And please share, like, and comment, and let me know what's going on out there. See ya.